Welcome to Beyond the Clinic, the podcast for health professionals ready to transform their expertise into innovative income streams that extend beyond the traditional clinic model. I'm Sarah Armand-Buttle. I'm a registered dietitian and certified business coach and proud owner of 2 successful online businesses. I understand the leap from the security of a regular salary can feel intimidating because I've been there too. But it doesn't have to be scary, and you do not have to do this alone. Here you'll learn tangible strategies to accelerate your business growth. So if you're dreaming of using your expertise to create impact and a life of freedom, then you're in the right place. Hello, and welcome along to episode 50. I feel like this is a bit of a milestone episode, and so I wanted to dive into my favorite subject, which is all about doing things better for you, better for your clients, essentially just up-leveling things. And so this episode is going to be a really great one for you. So if you're a healthcare professional or a dietitian like me, you might be wondering how to expand your business beyond the traditional one-to-one clinic model. You might be wondering how you can extend your reach to get in front of more clients. You might be wondering how to improve accessibility to your services, to get better results or outcomes for your clients, and also to diversify your revenue streams and income. And so in this milestone episode, I want to say we're going to cover all of that. This is exactly for you. So we're going to be diving into the creative online space, how you can leverage it to really scale your business whilst avoiding burning out. And by the end of this episode, I hope that you will learn why the traditional clinic model might actually be limiting your growth, what the biggest problems are with selling single sessions, how creativity in online practice can increase both your income, but also crucially improve our clients' outcomes, and then some practical steps to get you started today, as always. And if you are ready to take action after what you've listened to today, in May 2025, I'm going to be delivering the Freedom Formula. So this is a free 3-day mini course that will walk you through expanding your expertise into more creative alternative income streams. We're going to be harnessing the power of automation in your marketing so that you don't feel swamped in work and that you've got time to go off and do other things. So stay tuned, and I'm going to tell you more all about that towards the end of the show today. Okay, so most of you listening will have a private practice, or at least are aspiring to have one. And so I want to start this episode by outlining the real challenges that you have or you will have in private practice. So I think the number one thing that we can probably all relate to is your income is going to be capped by how many clients you can see one-to-one. So even if you've got a thriving practice, you likely won't want to work more than, 40 hours a week. And hopefully it's less than that, as I want you to have a bit of a life too. But my point is, you're capped by the number of hours in your working day. So what will happen is you're going to hit a ceiling, which either means running a waiting list or bringing in an employee. And of course, if you do that, you reduce your profits. With one-to-one clinics, it's really unlikely that you're going to replace an employee's salary before you burn out with exhaustion. The other challenge is that if you need time off, it can mean no income. If you're sick, it can mean no income. If you go on holiday, there's no clients, and so it's no income. And if your private practice happens in real life, as in clients actually physically come and see you in a geographical location, your reach is also going to be capped. It's going to be limited to those who can actually physically travel to get to see you. And then finally, burnout is real. I know, I've experienced it myself. But when you're running long clinic days with back-to-back sessions and then client-related admin on top of that, It leaves very little wiggle room for flexibility and, you know what, just enjoying life outside of work. Essentially, what happens when you get to this stage is you've created a job for yourself. And I'm pretty sure that's not why most of us go into private practice. So let's talk about why I believe single sessions just aren't enough. They're just not fit for purpose anymore. So the new consultation plus follow up model is actually very rarely enough to get clients real, true results, decent, lasting outcomes. And we know this from the NHS model and how that operates. So when there's a lack of continuity or a lack of long term support, clients come in for that initial consultation and they leave feeling motivated, but then real life happens. They forget the advice, they struggle to implement those changes. And by the time they come back for a follow up, even if they do, they've made little progress. So, without having structured support in place, many of our clients just simply give up. They might start out with great intentions. They might think that they can self manage in between sessions. But the reality is that health behavior change is really very complex. Without accountability, without reminders, and a system in place to support them, it's really easy for our clients to revert back to old habits. And when they do come back, they often need to start over again, making their overall progress much slower than it could be. The other thing here is clients need more than information these days. They can get information from ChatGPT. Instead, what they need is transformation. And as healthcare professionals, we don't just provide knowledge, we help clients implement real lasting change. But change doesn't happen instantly. Clients need structured guidance over a period of time with coaching, with check ins, with their questions answered as and when they arise, with progress tracking and personalized adaptations. When I was doing my PhD with my supervisor, he was head of the health psychology department at the university that I was affiliated with, and his team had explored this in depth. Advice alone isn't enough to get people to make lasting changes to their health. Clients need ongoing access to you, but actually not always in real time. What happens between sessions if a client has questions or doubts or struggles and they don't have a way to reach you, they will probably fall off track. So I like to think of this way. If you wanted to train for a marathon, for example, let me ask you this. Would a single session and 2 follow-ups with a running coach be enough? No, of course it wouldn't. You need a training plan. You need regular feedback. You need accountability, all to keep you on track. And health changes require that same level of structure and commitment, something that single sessions alone just cannot provide. And then I think actually that insurance companies make this worse because many of the health insurance companies will only cover 3 sessions, a new one and then 2 follow-ups, which forces both you and your client to a bit of a rushed timeline. 3 sessions might be enough to diagnose a problem and make some recommendations, but it's nowhere near enough for clients to create the sustainable habits that they need for long-term success. And it's really interesting because insurance company don't think twice about authorizing 12 sessions for a therapist, and yet it's often only 3 for AHPs. And when the insurance runs out, often those clients disappear. They're unable to self-fund, even if they still need support. They're left struggling on their own, while you're left feeling like you could have done more and you've lost revenue as well. So we know that without structured, regular support, our clients lose motivation. They fall off track and they fail to see lasting transformation. And we don't want this for our business because that means bad reviews. So here's why the traditional consultation model is actually going to hurt the future of your business. If you are only offering news and follow-ups, you are missing out. Clients who can't find flexible options will just go elsewhere. And sadly, it's to unqualified health coaches and influencers instead. So nowadays, clients expect convenience. Are you providing it? People are used to doing everything online now, shopping, banking, even their therapy. If they can't access your expertise in a way that fits around their lifestyle and meets their preferences, they will find somebody else who offers it. Health coaches and non qualified influencers literally are taking our clients because potential clients are already searching for health advice online. The problem is they're not actually looking for a dietitian or an OT or a physio. What they're looking for is a result like, how can I stop my bloating? Or how can I get rid of this lower back pain? And what that means is that they're potentially getting unqualified, generic advice from influencers and self proclaimed experts. So if you're not showing up in their search results, they're going to be spending their money elsewhere. You're working harder and not smarter because, as mentioned, if you take time off for whatever reason, your income stops. So, this business model is in fact really quite fragile because what happens if you get sick? What happens if you want to take a holiday? Your income is tied directly to client sessions. There is no financial buffer. You're leaving money on the table by not incorporating more creative or innovative offerings. You're placing a limit on the amount of money that you can receive by basing your availability on your working hours. But when you add in more scalable revenue streams, you can help more people without actually maxing out. So when I first started my business coaching business back in 2020, the model that I used with my colleagues was this. It was 12 weeks of education. I taught it live. My clients would show up to a Zoom call and I'd share my screen and present a bunch of slides, educating my colleagues on business and marketing. We would have some time for questions at the end, and then everyone would leave and show up a week later for the next installment. But very few of these original clients made any real progress in their business. Now, dietetics is a very small world, so it's fair to say that I know most of these OG clients. And while I can say without a doubt that they know more about online business and digital marketing now, hell, we have great conversations, most haven't implemented what I've taught them. And of course, 5 years on, most of what I taught them is now out of date. What I realized is that information alone is not enough. And so after a couple of years, I took my mastermind, as it was called then, offline. I changed the program. I re-recorded a library of information, updating the original and adding in lots more to create a reference library. So not a course, it was something that my clients could access and utilize whenever they needed it at their own leisure. I added in done for you templates, things like sales sequence emails where they could literally download them, fill in the blanks to match their own businesses, and upload them into their email service provider and run with it to save them some time. And instead, those weekly calls became pure coaching, live and in the moment. I extended the length of time from the 12 weeks that we originally had to 24 weeks with an option to continue on afterwards. And I've recently added in a 12-month option. And I've also upped our time together to twice weekly coaching calls. No one I know in the business coaching world does that. And now this program's got a new name. It's called Accelerate, because that is a true reflection of what I've observed my clients achieving. So now my clients get results. They set goals and they achieve them. They get new clients, they make money, they arrange their time so that they can take Fridays off if they want to. It's taken away the information overwhelm and instead given them a clear pathway. So yes, now and again, a client tries to binge the entire content library. And yes, they do end up in overwhelm and panic. And sadly, I can't control that. But you don't need to know everything all at once. You just need to know what you need at that particular time in order to move your business forwards. But my point is that the bog standard model of information giving, like when you have new assessments and follow-up appointments, isn't really enough in this day and age. And so what I'd love for you to do is consider how you can get creative in how you deliver your services. And I have a 4-step process to help you do just that. So step 1 is redesign your services for scalability. So instead of relying solely on new and follow-up appointments, you can redesign your services to deliver your expertise in multiple ways while giving your clients the structure they need. So, for example, rather than one-off consultations, imagine providing a program that supports clients over time. So, a group coaching program where you host weekly or bi-weekly calls to serve multiple clients at once is a good example of this. With this, you make sure you have equal amounts of time for teaching and the coaching. It could be a hybrid model where clients get access to self-paced content like videos and guides and templates, paired with live coaching sessions and even a community of like-minded individuals, much like what I do in Accelerate. You can have hybrid one-to-ones as well as hybrid groups. Essentially, it's a combination of a course, a support network, and live calls. And when you combine educational modules and group coaching or structured follow-ups, your clients don't feel lost in between sessions. They can watch pre-recorded content to reinforce key lessons. They can check in via the chat or the online community that you've set up. And they can even receive automated reminders to keep them on track. And it's this that keeps them engaged, it keeps them motivated, and it keeps them accountable. And ultimately, this leads to better long-term results. You could have a membership or a subscription model, giving clients ongoing access to materials, Q&A sessions, and a private community for as long as they continue to pay. Now, these tend to be lower costs, so you'll need a large audience of buyers to make it feel worthwhile, and you'll need to refresh the content regularly to encourage people to stay. So this restructure allows you to help more people at once while reducing that overall workload, and most importantly, it improves client outcomes. Step 2 is create a unique methodology and client pathway. Now, to truly make your program successful, you'll need to establish a really clear journey for your clients. And this is where your unique methodology comes in. So every successful program, whether it's one-to-one or a group, follows a structured pathway, a roadmap essentially that clients can follow with key milestones that help them see their progress. So ask yourself, what are the main stages of transformation that your client goes through when they work with you? For example, if you help people with IBS, their journey might look like phase 1, understanding their triggers. Phase 2, implementing the adjustments and testing different foods and tracking symptoms. Phase 3 might be the long-term maintenance, learning how to eat flexibly without triggering symptoms. If you're in the weight management space, it might be step 1 is just establishing a routine or a schedule for eating. Step 2 might be food and nutrition education. Number 3, shopping and understanding food labels. Number 4, healthier cooking methods. Number 5, understanding appetite and hunger cues. 6, hydration. 7, movement and exercise. 8, managing emotional triggers. You get the picture. There's key things that your clients go through in order to achieve the result that they want to achieve at the end of the program. So when you have this clear progression, clients always know where they are in their journey, and they always know what the next steps should be. And this helps them stay engaged. It helps keep them motivated and accountable to the methodology, reducing drop-offs and also improving their long-term success. Because your job isn't just to give advice and information, it's to guide your clients through a process and encourage them to stay the course so that they do get real transformation. Step 3 is automate and streamline your support. Now, you know me, I do like a bit of tech. And a more creative business model doesn't necessarily mean that you need to be available all the time. You can take advantage of this tech. In fact, when you do, it allows you to be at your client's beck and call far less. It's all about being available, but in a really structured way. So, to reduce the need for constant one-to-one interactions, you can use automated onboarding. So, this is really to set expectations, to answer really common questions that you know that they're going to have. So, I like to do this via daily short emails. Each one shows them something new that they can go and explore within the program or the members area. And research has shown that a good onboarding experience encourages clients to actually take action, which of course is what we want. You could also create pre-recorded lessons so that clients can learn at their own pace, but consider different learning styles when you're doing this. Some people like videos, others just want to pop in their earbuds and listen to you as a podcast. Transcripts, templates, downloadable worksheets, etc. These are super, super handy. And like I mentioned, I have a fill in the blanks done for you resource, which my clients love. So is there something similar that you can offer yours? You can use email sequences and automated messages as well to provide touch points without having to manually reach out to every single client. Likewise, in my business, a month before my clients' 6 months expire, I have an automated email to introduce them to the idea of continuing on. You can set up FAQ hubs or resource libraries to answer those really common repetitive questions without needing extra calls. So I've got a really great example of this in the Children's Nutritionist, my other business, within my membership called the Happy Healthy Eaters Club, where I've got a short 2 to 3 minute library of videos that answer all of those common questions that parents ask when they're just trying to get their toddler to actually sit down and eat. And then finally, you could have a pre-scheduled office hour that clients know about in advance, and they can drop in with their questions or they can send them in to you in advance for you to answer. We have a Google Calendar in my business where clients can integrate it with their own online calendar. And that has all of our coaching calls listed, all of our office hours, our live events, all diarized with the correct Zoom links. And these are all designed to save you time whilst ensuring that your clients feel supported but not overwhelmed at every stage of working with you. And then finally, number 4 is to position your business as a premium solution. So everything I've said to you so far has given you some ideas on the logistics, but I really want to talk about positioning of your business. Because when you sell a solution or a transformation, an outcome, rather than single consultations, clients see you as a premium service. Now, the majority of health professionals that I've worked with over the last 5 and a bit years have been underpricing their services when they first started working with me. And that's because they were only charging for their time rather than the value of the transformation that they provided. If your business helps people get a life-changing result, you need to increase your price accordingly. I'm going to say that again. If your business helps people get a life-changing result, you need to increase your price accordingly. I've said that twice because I really want it to sink in. So instead of selling a 1-hour session or a bundle of 3, package your expertise into a complete transformation, something that's worth far more to your client than an hourly rate. And when your service is structured as a comprehensive solution to a big problem they have, clients see the big picture on how this can improve their lives and the impact on their loved ones. And they are far more likely to invest at a higher level as a result. So, as we come towards the end of this episode, my action step for you today is just to identify one creative change that you can make today. Could you create a resource to guide clients between sessions? Could you set up a group coaching session? Could you set up an automated email sequence triggered when you get a new client that supports your client's onboarding automatically? So, what we've talked about today is the shift from that traditional clinic model to a more creative and innovative business model, one that removes the cap on your income, helps your clients achieve better results, and frees you from the burnout of constant one on one work. So instead of relying on single sessions, you can structure your expertise into scalable programs and automated pathways, allowing you to provide ongoing support without adding more hours to your schedule. When you have that unique methodology and a clear client journey with milestones along the way, your clients stay engaged. They see their progress, they achieve better outcomes. And with automation, you can serve them efficiently whilst creating more freedom and flexibility in your life. So, this isn't about working more or working harder. It truly is about working smarter because a small change today can completely transform how your business looks in the long run. So, if this has appealed to you, I really want you to come along to my free of charge mini course called the Freedom Formula. I'm running it in May, and I will pop the link to book your seat in the show notes below. Bye for now. That's it for another week. Thank you so much for joining me as we explore the abundance of strategies to help you recapture that feeling of possibility and excitement as you drive your business forwards and beyond the clinic room. If you found today's episode inspirational, then don't forget to like and subscribe to the show to stay in the loop for more valuable advice that I'm going to be sharing each week. If you want to be the first to hear about new episode releases, news and ways that I can support your business growth, then please don't forget to check out the links in the show notes, and you can also connect with me from there. Don't keep me a secret. I would be delighted if you left a review and shared this podcast with your colleagues. Until next time, bye for now.